In this video, I'm going to do a high-level overview of the Dewey platform. When you first sign in, you will land on this Discover tab, which is where our AI-powered data discovery tool lives. You can type out your research question, and we'll do our best to surface the data sets that are most relevant to you. I have an example research question that I will just paste in here, and we'll go ahead and run a quick search. Once complete, you will see a list of data sets over here on the left, ranked in order of relevancy to your query. And then when you click on any one of these, it will update here to the description of the data set, along with a Why This Matters section, which will just tell you why we surfaced it, why we think it's relevant. You'll see some high-level overview statistics about the data. And then down below, you'll have a publications list. These are publications that have cited this data set, so this adds validity to the data, may help with literature review, and so on and so forth. The next section over here is the catalog tab. This is where all of the data in the Dewey subscription lives. So if you're on a Dewey Researcher license or subscription, which is what I am demoing here, or you're on an institutional subscription, that data will live in here. When we click on any of these data sets, we'll see a summary of the data, the collection methodology, observation level, some high-level data highlights and links to documentation, citation requirements, including the DOI, and then a data dictionary and a data preview. I can download a sample from here, or I can go ahead and click Get Data. From here, I will be prompted to add the data set to a project. You must add data to a project before you can download it. If you have not created a project yet, you'll be prompted to do so. I will go ahead and add it to this project and click Save. And then it will take me to that project where I can either download the files, in this case as Parquet files, or use the API to download the data. Now, most of the data on Dewey is quite large, and so more often than not, you won't be able to use the download files option, but you can use that filter to try and get it down to small enough to use the download files option, or just switch to the bulk API where we have the API URL. You can generate a key for the API and then follow the instructions documentation. We also have a pretty easy one-liner that uses UV to download data via API as well. One thing to note about projects is you'll see this status section. The project status is to kind of keep track of how you're moving along with your projects. When you update a project to submitted or published or working, you will see we will ask for a public paper link or a GitHub link, and there will be this option to make public on Dewey. When this is toggled on, what it does is it signals to us that this data set should be listed on datasets as a relevant data set, or in the research tab. The research tab is just a curated list of projects that have been made public on Dewey. It includes published work or working papers that have cited data sets on the Dewey platform. And the idea here is that this will help other researchers with their own literature reviews, data discovery, and then down the road, this could be the beginning of a place where you may get suggestions or ideas on something that you're working on that may be in flight. We also have additional data sets available through the Connect tab. These data sets are only available to license if you have an institutional license with Dewey already. And the way this works is that there may be some data providers that already have an academic program or for some reason or another aren't in the Dewey subscription. And so as a user on an institutional subscription, I can go ahead and click on any one of these cards and request access to the data. When you make that request, it will signal to Dewey that you're looking to be connected with that data provider, and we'll go ahead and make that introduction for you after we've ensured that you have a good reason for it, and we put the reason for interest here, and the more information you can give, the better, obviously. Again, I am currently demoing in the researcher license, so when I make this request, we actually would just connect you with your librarian to try and get that institutional license because that is a prerequisite. But if I had the institutional license, we'd be able to connect you directly with the data provider. Last but not least, we have introduced grants here. As a Dewey user, I don't have the ability to claim any of these grants, but it's just our way of trying to congratulate and reward you for doing things in the product and moving your research along. So whether that be publishing a project, submitting a project, or committing to more time with Dewey, we want to reward you for that. So we have some cool discounts in here built into the product. And that is it for this overview of the Dewey platform.